Good day, everyone. Today, I will be presenting my answer to the learning exercise Future Governmental Agency for Children or Youth Part 3. So, I have chosen the National Youth Commission because it is a government agency in charge of creating projects for the youth. They are also called the voice and advocate of the youth or ang tinig ng kabataan. This agency focuses on the greater good of the youth. It was created through Republic Act 8044 or otherwise known as Youth and Nation Building Act, and it was enacted on June 7, 1995. So, why youth matter? So the youth from age 15 to 30 years represents the future of the nation. They are valuable resource with immense potential to drive development. It is vital to nurture and empower the youth for nation building. Because as Dr. Jose Rizal said, ang kabataan ang pag-asa ng bayan. So youth is the critical period in a person's growth and development from the onset of the adolescence towards the peak of mature, self-reliant, and responsible adulthood comprising the considerable sector of the population from the age 15 to 30 years. Who is youth? From 15 to 17 years old, it is considered youth child. And for 18 to 24 years old, it is called core youth. And for 25 to 30 years old, it is considered as a young adult. Now, youth shall refer to those persons whose ages range from 15 to 30 years old. And youth organization shall refer to those organizations whose membership compositions are youth. And youth serving organization shall refer to those registered organization or institution whose principal programs, projects, and activities are youth-oriented and youth-related. The adolescent stage is included. The adolescence is the phase of life between childhood and adulthood from ages 10 to 19. The NYC recognizes that it is not only the youth but also the adolescents ages 10 to 19 who are now included in its services, because there is a crucial relationship between the adolescent and youth stages. So one of the projects of NYC is an awareness campaign about early or teenage pregnancy. The NYC realized that the young people should be included in their activity to prevent teenage pregnancy. So it means even 14 or 13 years old are included, no, in the programs, activities, services of the NYC. So the state recognizes the vital role of youth in nation building to establish a national, comprehensive, and coordinated program on youth development. So youth is the critical period in a person's growth and development from the onset of the adolescence towards the peak of mature, self-reliant, and responsible adulthood comprising the considerable sector of the population from age 15 to 30 years. So the principles of the NYC is to promotion and protection of the physical, moral, spiritual, and intellectual and social well-being of the youth, to the end that the youth realize their potential for improving the quality of life. Inculcation in the youth of patriotism, nationalism, and other basic desirable values to infuse them faith in the Creator, belief in the sanctity of life and dignity of the human person, conviction for the strength and unity of the life, and adherence to truth and justice. Encouragement of youth involvement in character building and development activities for civic efficiency, stewardship of natural resources, agricultural and industrial productivity, and an understanding of world economic commitments on tariffs and trade, and participation in structures of policy making and program implementation to reduce the incidence of poverty and accelerate socio-economic development, and mobilization of youth abilities, talents, skills, and redirecting their activity, inventive genius, and wellspring of enthusiasm and hope for the freedom of our people from fear, hunger, and injustice. So the mandate and powers of the NYC is: number one is policy formulation. The NYC formulates comprehensive youth development policies aligned with the national priorities and youth welfare concerns. And the NYC is also um, the, one of their mandate is program implementation. The NYC implements programs and initiatives that promote the holistic development of youth, focusing on education, employment, health, and leadership. Advocacy and representation. The NYC serves as the primary advocate for the youth concerns in national policies, ensuring that the youth perspectives are considered in decision-making process. So, as I've mentioned earlier, they are the voice or advocate of the youth, or ang tinig ng kabataan. So, capacity building. It conducts trainings, seminars, workshops to enhance the leadership skills, capabilities, and empowerment of Filipino youth. Coordination and collaboration. The NYC coordinates with government agencies, non-governmental organizations, youth organization, and international bodies to strengthen partnership and maximize resources for the youth development. Monitoring and evaluation. So the NYC monitors the implementation and evaluates the impact of youth programs to ensure effectiveness and relevance to the need of Filipino youth. Sangguniang Kabataan Support. The NYC supports the SK councils at the barangay level, enhancing youth participation in local governance and community development. And also the NYC conducts research and advocacy campaigns on issues affecting Filipino youth to inform policy formulation and program development. So one of the uh, um, uh, research conducted by the NYC is all about the issue on mental health problems, because as we as we know, uh, mental health illness is very rampant to us youth, because of many factors, uh, especially during the um, pandemic times when lockdowns are everywhere. So the NYC has its initiative in conducting its research and advocacy campaigns. So the National Youth Commission is an independent policy making and coordinating body chaired by presidential appointee with regional commissioners, headed by a chairman with the rank of undersecretary. So objectives of the commission: to provide leadership in youth promotion policies and program, encourage encourage active youth participation across all sectors, harness the full potential of youth as nation builders, and supplement government funds with other sources. So the advocacy of the NYC is to establish a local youth development councils and formulation of local youth development plans, creation of youth cooperatives, um, and to tackle important issues like adolescent reproductive health, juvenile justice system, youth entrepreneurship, anti-drug abuse campaign, healthy lifestyle for the youth, Youth National Service Program under EO 788, and SK reform. So NYC is divided into different committees. Committee on Education, Health, Employment, Environment, and Participation. So the NYC is composed of a chairman, one commissioner representing Luzon, one commissioner representing Visayas, and one for Mindanao, and two commissioners to be chosen at large. And the President of Pambansang Katipunan ng Sangguniang Kabataan as commissioner, who shall serve in an ex officio capacity. So power of the commission is to appoint officers and staff, enter into a contract, acquire properties and assets, accept donations, grants, ensure implementation by agencies, and they can issue rules and regulation. So this is the current chairman and CEO of the NYC. It is Ronald Giancarlo Cardema. Before it was Isa Segura, but she resigned. Um, I think she only served the NYC for just 2 months, if I'm not mistaken. So this is the seal of the NYC. Yeah, so um, I think we are all familiar with the seal. If not, just try to familiarize it. So function of the commission to formulate and initiate the national policies on youth, to plan, implement, and oversee national integrated youth promotion and development program, to administer youth exchange programs, as well as monitor and coordinate all foreign sponsored youth programs and projects, to allocate resources for the implementation of youth programs and projects, to extend and provide support or assistance to deserving youth and youth organizations, including scholarship grants, to register, establish, and facilitate and help in the establishment of the youth organizations and youth serving organizations, to participate in international youth fora, symposia, and organizations such as the International Youth Forum, Asian Youth Council, ASEAN Youth Forum, United Nations Commission for International Youth Year, and other similar bodies, to provide training and a national secretariat for the Sangguniang Kabataan National Federation pursuant to RA 7160, or otherwise known as the Local Government Code. Programs and activities of the NYC, SHIP for Southeast Asia Youth Program, or SEAP. It is an annual cultural exchange program started in 1974 as a joint statement between ASEAN members countries and Japan, and the objective of which is to promote friendship and mutual understanding among these countries. And we also have TAYO, the 10 accomplished youth organizations. It is a recognition program for outstanding contribution made by youth and youth-serving organization nationwide. You also have the National Youth Parliament, a 3-day convention of youth leaders every 2 years wherein policy recommendations are formulated to address youth issues and serve as the government guide in policy formulation and program development. We also have Mindanao 2020, the NYC Peace and Development Advocacy Program. It is a comprehensive advocacy training program on culture, peace, human rights, and indigenous people. It aims to advance the promotion of peace, respect for environment, rights of children, youth, women, and indigenous people. So NYC has many activities, all of which have only one objective, which is the holistic development of the entire Filipino youth. So role of youth in nation building or local level, civic and public affairs, youth camps, conventions, fora, coastal cleanup activity, tree planting activity, campaign against drug abuse, local tourism promotion, create awareness against child abuse, supporting other organizations' cause, participation in local, municipal, barangay, civic festa. and other activities advocating for the promotion and protection of youth's welfare. So, going back to our question earlier, no? Why youth matter? Because our national hero said, ang kabataan ang pag-asa ng bayan. And that is why the National Youth Commission is here to 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 promote the welfare of the youth, especially in nation building. Thank you so much po.